Okay, let's get started. In this video, I'll show you how to set up Docker EE using Mirantis Launchpad on your local virtual machines. You will see here I have got 3 virtual machines, all of them running Ubuntu 18.04, and I can briefly show you each one of them. All of them are right now in a common virtual network. Like this one, for example, is the master machine. Wait a second, I'm just trying to re-log in into it. Yeah. You will see this machine has this IP address 182.18.05. There are 2 network interfaces inside. One that is used to set up a common network between all 3 machines and to give them the static IP addresses. So these IP addresses will never change. Second one is NAT network, which is used only for internet connectivity, to provide internet connectivity to this VM. Okay. Same way, I have got other machine. This is a master node. Then I have got node 1. Let me show you what is there in node 1 now. Node 1, if I log in here, all of them have same user ID and password, and also all of them are using same SSH key pair. I'm using single SSH key pair for all 3 machines. You will see I'm able to see the IP address for the second machine. Node 1 is 06, and then I have got node 2. Node 2 has IP address 07. So I have got all 3 machines now. Let me just minimize them. I will continue running them in a background. The machine should be up and running all the time while we are running this process. So I will just keep them run in background and minimize this. Now this is my Launchpad configuration. It's a YAML file. In this YAML configuration, I'm using these install flags. Like this is going to be my UCP username and password. This is going to be the IP address of my master node registered as an additional IP address or as additional host name in the TLS certificate that it will download and install. I want to use Node Orchestrator Kubernetes. This will make sure that I will have Kubernetes and Docker Swarm both in this cluster. This is master machine. IP address of master node is 182.18.05 using manager role. The private interface, remember my machine has 2 network interfaces, out of which the one which is used for inter-cluster communication is ENP0S3. The other one, ENP0S8, is used for NAT driver, which provides internet connectivity. Then I have got 182.18.06 for second node and 182.18.07 for third node. For third node, I have configured it to use DTR or install Docker Trusted Registry on it. Finally, these are the DTR installation parameters, like external IP address. Because DTR is getting installed on my node 2, so I'm using node 2 IP address for the external URL. You can use DNS instead of this and use insecure TLS certificates for access. So fine, everything is ready. This is the configuration file, and in order to apply this configuration file, the command that I will use now is this. I have already downloaded Launchpad binary file, and what I just have to do is write launchpad space apply. I just have to make sure that I am in a correct folder, and as soon as I press enter, this will start reading that launchpad.yaml file, this file I am talking about right now, and it will start installation on all 3 machines at once. Let's see. Here I press enter and see what happened now. First of all, I am using an SSH credentials to connect with it. SSH credentials for my system are stored in my user home directory in .ssh folder, and same SSH credentials are going to be used for all 3 virtual machines. This is it. So this is running. What I'm planning to do is I'm planning to upload these VMs, all the 3 VMs, right? I will share the VMs probably in Google or OneDrive link, and along with that I will also share the SSH key pair and this configuration file, so that if you want to try this on your own system, you should be able to do it easily. You just need to have VirtualBox installed in your machine, and your machine should have internet connectivity. Now this process is actually going to take some time, okay, because lots of additional packages need to be installed, downloaded and installed into your system, and most of the components used by Docker Swarm and Kubernetes themselves are containers. So those many container images, those many number of container images has to be downloaded into those systems. So this will approximately take 15 to 20 minutes. So what I'll do is I'll just pause this video for a time being, and I will resume it once the installation is complete. Okay, so after just waiting for some time, you can see the progress now. Looks like it has done the Swarm installation already and installing Kubernetes components now out of 39. Yeah, all 39 Kubernetes components are now installed, and let's see. Okay, nodes are prepared to be ready. Just waiting for the nodes to be ready. One master and 2 workers. Once nodes are ready, it will start installation of DTR, Docker Trusted Registry, and after DTR is installed, our setup would be complete. Okay, joining master node, fine. Now running DTR setup. It will take another couple of minutes now, so I'll again pause for some time. It is getting installed right now on node 2. That's because YAML file I have defined DTR location to be node 2, so it's getting installed right now, and in very few minutes my UCP, Universal Control Plane, also would be ready. You will notice all these commands are installing DTR on node 2, which is 182.18.07. That's my node 2. Fine, getting installed. Database generated. Internally it uses a database called RethinkDB for maintaining the registry database. Individual container images, however, would be stored simply into storage volume. A separate volume is created here. Okay, DTR is itself installed as a scalable unit, so in future if you want, you can install additional instances of DTR as well. You can add one more instance of DTR and it will automatically sync itself with the existing DTR instances. That way you will have more than one instance of DTR connectivity through this common IP address 182.18.07. That's because I defined it in my YAML file as an external URL for container registry. So this is like instance number 1 for all these components. Second instance would be given number 2, third would be given number 3, and so on for all these components. Internally all these components are actually running as containers. These are all containers basically. With just couple of minutes now, our setup would be ready. Actually speaking, UCP installation is already completed. What we are installing right now is DTR. So we should be anyway able to kind of access our UCP now. I have installed Universal Control Plane on IP address 182.18.05. This is where I have installed UCP. It's using self-signed certificate, and therefore we need to accept this risk and continue with the self-signed certificate. my UCP username is password, admin, and password is this. The same username and password which we have entered in YAML file that you have to write, and this is it. It will give you this pop-up saying license is required. You can ignore it for a time being now. Evaluation use, you can use it for 2-3 nodes. It will just keep reminding you that you are using it in evaluation mode and not for production. You will see this is one manager node, the CPU utilization, memory utilization for manager node, CPU and memory utilization for 2 worker nodes. Okay, we have got Swarm and Kubernetes both up and running in the same cluster, and if you want more information about it, go to the shared resources and you can see how many collections, how many stack, if there are any, how many containers are running. Now these are all system containers, by the way. How many container images you have, you will see all these are system container images which are part of Docker setup itself. Now all these images actually are for DTR, Docker Trusted Registry, the one that we have started installing right now. And finally we have got these many nodes. If I now go back and check, you will see, oh yeah, that's good, setup is already completed now. So this is the web UI, and by the way, in case if you want DTR, this is the URL for DTR. Let's trust this and follow the link. This is DTR. Again DTR is giving me this error, so I just have to do one thing. I have to accept the error and continue. Docker Trusted Registry. This is because of self-signed certificate. Need to accept it again. Fine. It will take me to Docker Enterprise setup again. Admin, password. Okay. It will allow me to log in into my DTR registry, Docker Trusted Registry, and you will notice my Docker Trusted Registry right now showing that you are using untrusted version or you are using unlicensed version. That's fine for me. I have not created any organization, nor I have created any repositories so far. So what I'll do is I will now create a repository and I'll upload some images into it. But before that, before I try that, I have to do one important thing, and that is downloading the bundle. There is a launchpad command that will help you to download the resource bundle. So let's say I'll use launchpad download -bundle. I need to provide username. This is actually UCP username. My UCP username is admin, and then I need to provide password, and this is my UCP password. Remember, this password and username is already defined in my YAML file. I'll show you where it is. Here it is. This username and this password. Nothing additional in here. Now this will download the required credentials file, which you can use for accessing both Docker as well as Kubernetes, which we have installed in this cluster. Okay, it will just download a small archive file. I will have to just extract it. It contains some script, one for Windows machine, one for Linux machine. Right now my host machine is Linux, so I will have to use the Linux one. Okay, looks like client bundle is exported at this particular path. So let's do one thing. Let's open this path in a new window. Here it is. Let's see how many files are there. You can see these are the certificates, digital certificates, self-signed certificates. This is env.cmd. In case if you are using Windows machine, run this command, and in case if you want to use PowerShell, there is PowerShell command also available both for Linux and for our Linux machine. This is for Windows, sorry. PS1 and CMD is for Windows, env.sh is for Linux. So I need to use this machine right now. So what it will do, it will now configure both Docker and Kubernetes for me. Just to give you an example, I'll show you. If I open an additional terminal, external terminal, and here in this terminal, if you do docker info, you will see it's showing me Docker, which is running in my local machine. How do I know that it's running in local machine? You can see it here. It's showing 8 CPUs and 16 GB of RAM, and this is my machine name, Inspiron 5379, and this is my Docker username. All this information is present, and if I use Docker version tag, it will show me that I am using indeed Docker Community Edition. Yeah, what I am running right now, or what I am using right now, is Docker Community Edition. This is Docker Engine. You can see the version number and all the other details like this. Okay, I am using Docker 19.0.3. okay, that's my Docker Community Edition, by the way. Docker Community and Docker Enterprise is also displayed in Docker Info. When you run Docker Info, it will show you which version of Docker you are running. Let me just scroll up. Yeah. Okay, fine. Nothing is written here clearly. What I'll do is I will now also try kubectl command to know the cluster information. This is before I import these tools. It's saying cluster information is not available. Let's go to this window here, and from this present working directory I'm going to run this env.sh, and what I have to do is I just have to write env.sh source env.sh. So it will be now merged into my current environment. You will see the cluster, user and context, everything is now set. And now if I write kubectl cluster info, let's see what happens now. I am now connected to this UCP cluster, and it's saying your Kubernetes server is running in this particular IP address 182.18.0.5, and you can actually run all your Kubernetes commands here. So kubectl get nodes, and you can see how many nodes are there. You will notice there are 3 nodes, 1 master and 2 worker nodes available there. All of them are ready, and you can even check like how many pods are there. Right now there are no pods deployed on this cluster, but if anything is deployed, you should be able to monitor it from here. Yeah, interesting thing. Let's try the Docker version command here, and you will notice one thing. Now this time it is giving us lot more details than otherwise it used to provide. You will see here it clearly mentions that you are running Docker Enterprise Server 4.0. okay, Docker Enterprise 4.0 I am running. I have installed it using Launchpad, and you will see all the other details like which version of runc, which version of Git I am using, and it's also providing me details on which version of Universal Control Plane UCP I am running right now. Please remember, if I run any Docker command like docker run or docker exec or docker images, it will be showing me details about, or it would be actually communicating with my Docker daemon, which is running inside in the other environment. So to give you an example here, if I try Docker info again here, you will see this Docker info is still showing me details about my local Docker installation. This is still referring to my local Docker installation. It's not showing Docker Enterprise. This is still connected to my local Docker. And if I do Docker images here on this window, you will see it is still showing the other images that I have built locally. This is my local Docker, whereas this one is connected now to my Docker, which is running inside this Mirantis cluster, Docker EE cluster. I can now run any container from the command line itself, and the most interesting thing is I can now use this environment to get the image and push them to my DTR, and this is how I am going to do it now. Let's do one thing. Let's pull one image nginx, or let's say let me just pull my own image Mahendra Shinde My Web Latest. This I am going to download from Docker Hub, which is a default registry. So it will download it. Once the layers are downloaded, what I am going to do next is I am going to push it to my container registry. You will notice one thing here. You can see here the image is getting actually downloaded in all the environments, master node, node 1 and node 2. All 3 machines have started downloading this image. This is just to make sure that image is available through all those nodes. So it doesn't matter where I deploy this container, image should be already available there in the local cache. Okay, now let me re-tag it. The original image name is Mahindra Shinde / myweb. Now I want to re-tag it as 182.18.07 / myweb latest. Okay, so this is going to be my new name of this image, and let's now push this image 182.18.07 / myweb latest. Let's see now. Wait a second, it looks like the access to resource is denied. I will have to check two things now. Number one, I will have to make sure that my Docker trusted registry, whichever one I'm using right now here, 182.18.07, Docker trusted registry, first of all, kind of accept this request. Wait a second, here I am. I need to make sure that I'm creating a repository here, or I will have to change the setting to allow it to create repository on push. So let's see. Repository, create repository on push. That means whenever you try to push a new image, it will automatically create a repository. You do not have to create it in advance. Okay, this option is very good option basically. Let's try this now again. Docker push, looks like access denied, it's the same error. Fine, let's do a Docker login here. Docker login will allow me to log in into my registry. My registry URL is 182.18.07. So I'm trying to log in into this registry now. Okay, username is same, admin, and password is the same password for UCP. Login is successful, and with that now let's try to push the image again. Requested access to the resource is denied. Okay, what could be wrong in here? Let me just try to create a registry here. Okay, looks like I have to either provide admin / or Docker data center /. Fine, let's say I want to create a registry with this name, admin / myweb. This is going to be the repository name, which currently contains nothing, and this is how it is supposed to be written. Fine, I'm going to use this address now. Copy, and let's use Docker tag, and here I'll use this new name. Okay, so it's going to be tagged as 182.18.07 admin, and here I'll use 182.18.07 admin myweb latest. Let's see now. Yeah, now it has started uploading it. So image is getting now pushed into my registry, and you will notice here, if I do this, you will see a latest image has been uploaded here. This image is currently not signed. That means one of the person from your repository or one of the person from your organization is supposed to sign it. Only then it can be used for the deployment. So here we are. This is the image that I have created on my own private registry. I will use promote button here. Okay, and I can promote this to a newer version, or I can give it a new version if required. Wait a second, I don't want to promote it as such. I just want to sign the image. So let's do one thing. Let's go back to the image. This is my image, and promotion, signing, security, settings, pruning. There are many options there. Okay, this is the info tag. Your permission is admin. I can perform all this operations here. This is the image tag, right? Let's go to the admin profile. These are my repositories, and I can check the settings, etc. This is my username. Image scanning. It is not available as of now. You will have to register with the license. Only then I should be able to perform that option. Okay, so this is my repository now, and I can see the repository details from here. Okay, this is the image which I have just uploaded. Fine, this is how we upload the images, or this is how we set up Docker EE on local virtual platform. I'll be sharing all this thing, and you will find the download URL later in the video.